Okay, we are live on both Instagram and YouTube. Welcome. As always, we'll give it a couple minutes for everybody to get logged on. And while we're waiting, if you'd like to come work with me, suitsandposing.com is where you have to go. We do hair, makeup, suits, and posing, all the fun stuff when it comes to competing for women. Welcome, you guys. It's been a little bit, and we have a lot to talk about tonight. A lot. Yeah, this weekend is going to be crazy. There are so many pro shows this weekend, you guys. Oh my goodness. Wow. It's just crazy. I was looking at the pro list and all that stuff before I came on. I didn't get a whole lot of time to review a lot of stuff, so we're going to do a lot of this together tonight. If you're on YouTube, let me know that you can hear me because I have my mic up, so I want to make sure that I am able to be heard on YouTube. I've only used this mic a couple of times, so I want to make sure it's okay. Welcome, you guys. As always, we're going to give everybody a few minutes to get logged on, and then we're going to go into our topic tonight, which is we're going to review the shows from this past weekend briefly. And we're going to go into previewing the shows this coming weekend, which there are several. There are a lot, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 pro shows this weekend. 5 pro shows this weekend. 5. Crazy. Welcome, guys. As always, I'm just going to give it a couple minutes. Where's my water? There it is. So I'm going to give it a couple of minutes, and then we'll dive in. Hope everybody had a great week. It's been about a week since we've been on. Been very, very busy. Like, as I mentioned, there are 5 pro shows this coming weekend. What's up? There was 2 this past weekend. This is the height of the competition season right now, so it's incredibly, incredibly busy for us. Plus, being in prep too, that doesn't help. So we're very busy over here. All pro shows are Olympia qualifiers, every one of them, all of them. Welcome, you guys. Okay, so we're gonna jump into this. Yeah, I'm actually on commentary this weekend for DC. So I'm on the live stream this weekend. It is a very busy weekend coming up. So not only am I on commentary for DC Pro-Am for the live stream, but I also have a lot of clients doing it. So it is a very, very busy weekend coming up. I have both pros and amateurs competing at the DC Pro-Am this coming weekend. So, yeah, it's a very busy weekend, and it's the start of my peak week. So, first thing we're going to do tonight is we're going to go over Toronto, and we're going to go over Toronto very, very quickly because it was a small show in general, and then we'll go into Miami. I did watch the live stream for Miami, which got me through my cardio on Saturday. So that was good. But let's talk about Toronto really quickly. Now, Toronto used to be a huge show. Toronto was actually the show that I did my pro debut at. They had a huge expo, all this stuff. It used to be a really big show. But obviously, with everything that's happened in the last couple of years, Canada has been a little bit shut down, a little bit. So Toronto Pro Show, I believe, was canceled the first year. This past year, it actually happened in the fall. They moved it back to its original date this year. And it was not very well attended, which, for obvious reasons. I did not buy the live stream. I'll be honest. I didn't buy the live stream because I thought it was too expensive. And from what everybody has said with the live stream, it was not a very high quality live stream to begin with. So guys, it's hard for me to cough up $100 for a live stream when you get one camera angle and it's in low resolution. Like my resolution here on this live stream is better than what they had for Toronto. So with that, I can't say a whole lot about the actual show itself because I didn't watch it. So I'm just going to be perfectly honest with you. I have no problem with spending money for a live stream when it's a quality live stream. When it's not, sorry, I have other things I can spend my money on. So I'm just going to be honest, with you there. So I did pay attention to the pictures, things like that. So let's talk about wellness first. Wellness was small as usual. Most of these wellness shows have been small. There was 7 girls in this show. It was Cassandra who won it and everybody else basically. I think we kind of saw that coming. Cassandra going into it was the favorite. She has placed second several times, and she won this show in the fall as well. So this was kind of her show to win, basically. Live stream price point seemed greedy. Olympia wasn't that expensive in comparison. Yeah, correct. I have no problem with live streams. I have no problem with charging for live streams, but I want to get something for my money, basically. Quality matters. If you're going to charge that kind of price for a live stream, there needs to be a reason behind that price. If there was a reason behind that price, they didn't even have commentary. They had one camera angle. It was really low resolution, all of those kinds of things. It's just not worth it. I'm sorry. The live stream this coming weekend for DC Pro Am, which we'll get into that in a little bit, is going to have all of those things. High quality, going to have live commentary the whole time, not only for pros, but also for NPC. That is worth paying for, especially as a spectator. Like, you want to listen to something other than just freaking house music. You know what I mean? So anyway, moving on from that. So when we're talking about wellness, I mean, again, this was kind of Cassandra's show. Like, everybody kind of knew that going into it. She looked great. All we really have, again, I don't like to give a whole lot of critiques when all we have are photos. And these photos are pretty good. But they were a little bit shadowed, and I don't think that was the photographer's fault. I actually think it was the lighting, because again, I've seen some clips from the live stream itself, and I think it was the lighting at the show itself. But Cassandra looked great. I'm flipping through her photos right now as I'm talking. Let me move my camera out of the way so I can see what I'm looking at. This is a great look for her. I wish that we had some other top competitors in this show. Like, if we had Sunny Andrews in this show or something like that, then I'd be able to give you more critiques on if this was Cassandra's best look, or if it wasn't. But frankly, I just can't give you those kinds of critiques here. I think she looks great. I think she obviously won this show. I don't think there was any doubt that she was the winner of this show. I'm looking at Emily right now, who took second. Emily looks good too. Could use some work on her posing. I'm never a huge fan. Like, this is like is it a purple suit? It looks like it's a lavender kind of suit. It's really light colored. I'm not really a huge fan of that on blondes. I believe blondes need to have more pigment to their suit. It's not a bad color on her, to be perfectly honest with you. It's not a bad color. But I just like to have a little bit more depth to the color, especially when you're a blonde. So if I was her, I'd be working on posing for sure. She's definitely got some posing stuff that she could be doing. She attempted to do the Francielli pose off to the side, which she did okay with that, but it's really hard when you've got like a signature pose. We've talked about this before. Francielli has a signature pose where she kicks off to the side and all that kind of stuff. And when you got an Olympia winner that does that as her signature pose, it's like everybody else is just copying her. And it's really hard to copy an Olympia winner. You know what I mean? So it's not a bad pose on her, but it's just not Francielli, right? So, but overall, not a bad look. She just needs some tweaking. She just needs some posing stuff. some suit stuff, things like that, and then she'd be right there. Conditioning was good from these photos. The conditioning looks pretty good. So good package for her overall. Let's see, clicking back here. No. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's hard to judge this show from the photos because the photos are pretty shadowed. So it's kind of hard to figure out what these girls look like. The girl that came in third looks like she needs a little bit of work on her conditioning. This is Anne Marie. Looking at her right now. Yeah, she needs some work on her conditioning a little bit from the front with her waistline. Back looks good. Back looks really good. Waistline needs a little bit of work, but needs some posing. A lot of these girls need some help with their posing. A lot of girls, especially when they're newer wellness pros, things like that. I'm seeing a lot of simple posing mistakes that these wellness girls are making that could definitely improve their package if they were to fix. A lot of bending over in the back pose, that kind of thing. This Daniela is doing that. She's bending over in her back pose way too much. She's overly conditioned and she's bending over too much. That's not a good combo. Facts, right, Devin? Yeah. A lot of this stuff, a lot of these mistakes that these girls are making, the newer wellness pros, things like that, are in relation to posing and their presentation. If they were to present themselves a little bit better, they would probably fare a little bit better. But with that said, we mentioned this on the preview the last time. Pretty much everyone that's going to these Wellness Pro shows are getting Olympia points, like most everybody, because it's like 5 to 7 girls. Like the Toronto has 7 girls. So almost everyone got Olympia points. So it is what it is right now. So you really, when we're looking at these shows, the best thing to do with the wellness girls is to look at the girls that are placing first and second. Those are really the ones that you should be paying attention to, I would say. Because those are the ones that are going to be the competitive ones at the Olympia. So we're going to go to Bikini next for Toronto, and Ashley Caldwell did win this. No surprise there. She actually, the girl that came in second, Hyun Kim, I believe is also an ex-Olympian, looked really good, but it's just really hard to beat Ashley from the back. It's just really hard to beat her from the back. And this Hyun Kim, I think, actually looked really good from the front. I think she was a little bit top heavy. Like when you look at her frame, her shoulders are really dominant from the front. So I think if she were to kind of close off that front pose just a little bit, that would help to balance her a little from the front. From the front, she looked pretty top heavy. From the back, she looked great, but again, really hard to be competitive with Ashley's glutes. It's just really, really hard to be competitive with Ashley's glutes. So this girl looked good. In any other show, she may have won it. But here, and even from the back, as I look at her too, from the back, she is upper body dominant. Her shoulder width is just overpowering her lower half. She's got a great lower half, but because her upper body's bigger, that's what I look at. I look at her upper body. She could also use a little bit of help with her makeup. Her makeup was definitely lacking in this particular show. Then when we look at Ashley, it's just really hard to beat Ashley from the back. Ashley from the front looks pretty well balanced. She does have a really pretty look to her hair and makeup here. She did straight hair at this show, which I personally like her better in straight hair. I think that's better on her personally. She's done some curls recently. I like the straighter hair. I like the straighter look on her. That's just my preference. I do like the green on her. I'm just, old school. I like the green. That's just what she has always won in. Front pose looks good. She actually, one of the things I will say, and I don't know, this could just be the lighting, but I feel like she's getting her ab definition back, which is something that I felt was lacking in the last couple of shows that she did. Here we do see a little bit more definition in her abs. And I like that. I felt like her abs were a little bit washed out, like in Pittsburgh and things like that. I felt like she was getting a little bit hollow through the abs. here. And again, it could just be the lighting for this particular show, but I like her abs here at this show. I feel like she's getting a little bit more of that definition back, but not overly done. So I think she did a good job here. This was a good look for her. Let's see. Let's go back. And then we had Ellie Fernandez in third. So Ellie was the one that we looked at that could potentially dethrone Ashley at this show, but she did not. She came in third. Ellie has this scenario of she can look too hard, or she can look too soft, or she can look right down the middle. Here, I think, again, it's really hard with this lighting. It's really hard for me to tell because it's just so shadowed. I don't know. I think she looked pretty good here. I like how tight she is here. She might have been a little bit full through her waistline, maybe. But I like the way she looks here. I think she's nice and round. She's got some good pop to her. Again, it's really hard for me to tell the difference between her and the other top two in this light. Maybe a little bit fuller in the glutes, maybe, but I don't think so. I think her glutes look pretty good. Yeah. I think it's like splitting hairs here. Honestly, between her and the girl that took second, that Hyun Kim. I think it's splitting hairs between the two of them. Yeah. And then fourth is Marie Eve, which I believe this was her pro debut. So this is what I was talking about with the wellness girl. The wellness girl had that light purple suit. This girl is a blonde with a deeper purplish blue suit, which is much more flattering. Much more flattering when you got that deep jewel tone here. This girl, let me look at her. Glutes look great. Yeah, she looks really good. She could have probably been a little bit darker in her tan from just in comparison to the other girls in the top four. Tan just looks a little light, which she looks like she's also pretty fair skin, so that's probably part of it. Front pose is a little bit wonky. She just needs to. Let me see if I can find another picture. It looks like these poses. No, she's fully posed right there. Yeah, she just bent a little bit in her front pose, so it looks a little bit wonky. She just needs to fix that. But no, she looks really good. I love Ashley's straight hairstyle from her 2016 Olympia win. We should go back to that. I just like her straight hair. I think she looks good. So that was your top four. And then Jodie Yunker was in fifth. Really pretty look on Jodie. I like the hair. She's just a little bit full through the waistline, maybe. Needs to fill out her shoulders maybe a little bit. Let me see. Let me flip her around to the back here. I literally am going through these photos as I'm talking to you. I have not had a chance to review any of this stuff. So feel free to put in your own 2 cents over here, because I honestly haven't had a moment to actually go through all this stuff. So I'm going through it now. Glute fullness. That's what Jodie needs. Jodie needs some glute fullness back here. That suit cut needs to come down a little bit. It's showing a little bit of her top of her hip bones a little. So she just needs to pull that suit bottom down a little, give her a little bit more V into the back. That would definitely help her from the back for sure. It's just sitting a little bit too high on her. Yeah, glute fullness is where I would focus. Glute fullness and shoulder fullness is where I'd focus for her. Okay, cool. Awesome. So that's your top 5. All right. So we're going to flip over to Miami Muscle Beach. So I did watch this one on the live stream. And before we get into the pros here, I want to talk about the NPC portion. So some of you guys probably saw my post about that. Bridget won the NPC overall for Bikini. She is one of Jasmine Gonzalez's clients. Jasmine messaged me the day before the show, basically asking what I thought about Bridget wearing Jasmine's suit on stage, because Bridget's other suit wasn't the most flattering cut in the world. So she sent me the photos of Bridget, and honestly, the cut of Jasmine's suit was a little bit small for Bridget because of the top. The top was a little bit small. So I wasn't a huge fan. But then they showed me the suit that she was going to wear. I was like, no. I was like, put Jasmine, put her in your suit. Because it just the other suit was not flattering on her at all. So I told her, I just said, just glue that top on you like no tomorrow, so that you don't pop out of it, and you'll be good to go. And she ended up winning the overall in that. So congratulations to them. I just wanted to put that out there, and I appreciate them reaching out to me and asking and all that kind of stuff too. That was the suit that Jasmine wore at the Olympia when she placed top 10. So that was actually pretty cool to see that happen. But yeah, it was the lesser of two evils for sure when it came to the suit cuts. So, that's always something you had to think about too. I would prefer to have her in a bigger top and everything like that. But when you look at it in comparison to what she was going to wear, it was 1,000 times better. So it is what it is. Speaking of suits in Miami, many of the top wellness ladies were in green suits, which looks nice against the backdrop. Do you think they changed their suit color based on the backdrop? I have no idea if they changed their suit color because of the backdrop, but I hear this a lot, and I've debunked this before, so I'm going to say it again. The backdrop has zero relevance on how you're going to place on stage. I get girls ask me that all the time. Like, should I change my suit color because it's going to blend into the backdrop? Unless you actually take the backdrop and wrap it around yourself, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the backdrop looks like. The only reason why that became a thing is because there was a bikini company out there that used it as a marketing tactic to sell more suits. I think they still use it as a marketing tactic to sell more suits, that you should change your suit color based on the backdrop. It's bullshit. I'm sorry. You are a 3D object on stage. You are not a 2D object pressed up against the backdrop. Okay. Yeah, it'll pop off in pictures, right? So I loved the fact that the New York Pro backdrop was black and white, because in photos, my red suit looked phenomenal. But it doesn't matter when you're there in real life. It makes zero difference in real life. None. What matters is if the suit looks good on you. Period. Right? Period. End of story. It does not matter what that backdrop looks like. It doesn't matter. Okay? I know you're talking about they have lots of claims. They sure do. Ellen was about to say that someone using it as a marketing ploy. They absolutely were. That's anything you can clarify. Yeah, they have used it in order to sell more suits. It doesn't matter. I'm telling you, it doesn't. Marketing genius, right? Yeah, except that it's bullshit. So it's a problem when you use it as a marketing tool that does not actually matter. It's a problem. So the suit matters how it looks on you. Does not matter what the backdrop looks like. Okay. Yes, some backdrops are going to look better in photos, but it will not affect your judging score at all. It won't. So take that to the bank. Just saying. Anyway, let us move on to Miami. So again, wellness was 8 girls deep. Giselle won this, which is what we predicted. We predicted Giselle would win this. In my opinion, I thought Giselle was a little bit soft from the back, specifically in her quads specifically, but I agree with the win. I'd like to see her a little bit more conditioned than what she was. It's just, again, specifically her quads and her from the back, her lower half of her body was a little bit soft, in my opinion. But I do think that she deserved the win here. I do think that was the right call. But I wouldn't have been surprised if she had taken second because of the conditioning. The girl that took second was definitely better conditioned, but she was a little washed out through the waistline, that kind of thing. I such a low participation for wellness competitors at these shows. Wish I could tell you. Don't know. So overall, I felt like it was a show between the top two. Again, when we're talking about wellness at these shows, it's really looking at the top two most of the time. And again, we're looking at some posing issues. When we look at the girl that took third, posing was just a little over the top. Like, I get that wellness is, the posing is a little bit over the top in general. Posing is a little bit over the top for wellness. But it's just, for a lot of people, it's just too much. And it's just showing so many flaws in the physiques. Like, just calm it down a little. Just calm it down a little, just a little. Okay. I think it would go a long, long way if you just if some of these girls just posed a little bit more structured, you know. I'm just seeing it a lot, and while it's fun to watch, it just shows so many flaws in the physique, you guys. Just so many flaws. Oh goodness. So anyway, going back to this again, I think Giselle was the right choice, but I'd like to see her better conditioned. I'd like to see her a little tighter. Looking through this, and in general, the second call out of these girls their conditioning was all the issue. Looking at these girls right now, a little bit blocky through the waistline. The waistline blockiness is a big thing. The bending over in the back pose. Ladies, stop bending over in the back pose. Stop doing it. Oh my God. I know that wellness girls tend to do that to try to make their quads pop from the back a little bit more and things like that. I understand, but it is not flattering at all. Stop bending over. Stop bending over. Like, don't grope yourself. Yes. Don't grope yourself on stage. That is a problem. I'm seeing that a lot. Way too much touching. Way too much of that. And again, I understand that some of these wellness girls have made this kind of the thing, going over the top and stuff like that. But to me, it's just massively cringe when you're groping yourself, feeling yourself up, bending over, all of this stuff. Like, show the physique that you built. Show the physique that you built. That's it. Okay. It's okay. You can show personality. You can show spice. You can show flair without going over the top. Yeah. Trying to be sexy. That's the key word, trying. I feel like a lot of wellness girls are trying too hard. They're trying too hard. Like, again, going back to what I was talking about with the Francielli pose, right? Francielli pulls off those poses really well because that's her. That's how she is. You can tell that's just her coming through. That's not her trying to be something that she's not. A lot of these girls that are posing in wellness now are trying to be Francielli, right? Or trying to be too sexy. And it comes off as trying too hard, right? Just be yourself. Show your physique that you built. Okay. That's my 2 cents on what I've been seeing in wellness. And again, going back to, we are seeing 5 to 8 girls in these wellness pro shows. So if you're looking at these wellness girls wanting to become a pro, wanting to look like the top pros, focus on your top 2 in these shows. Focus on your top 2. Because outside of that, we're seeing a lot of people that are sort of hitting the criteria and sort of not. Okay, so I would focus on the top 2 in each one of these shows if you're looking for people to find inspiration from. Okay, that's my 2 cents right now, because again, we're not getting a lot of competition at these shows. So the girls that are placing top 2 are the ones that are going to end up qualifying for the Olympia, right? So those are the ones to be paying attention to. And even at that, some of them need some work too. I mean, this is a brand new division. It is still figuring out the kinks, all of those kinds of things. So don't take everything that these wellness girls do to heart, because it's going to evolve over the next few years. Okay, it's going to evolve. So that's my soapbox for today. All right, moving on to Bikini in Miami. All right, so Sierra won this and Aaron Stern in second. I felt like it was very, very close between the two of them. And I actually really liked both of their looks. And I felt like from the front, the two of them were very, very comparable. When we turn them around to the back, I actually think that Aaron Stern's glutes are a little bit too big. They're a little bit overpowering. They're a little bit too high and round now. Sierra was really well balanced from the back. I think with Erin, I think she can fix that with some posing tweaks. She poses really close with her feet in her back pose. And I think if she was to go apart by just an inch or two with her back pose, I think that might help to balance her a little bit better. But right now, what I see when we turn Erin around is her glutes are too big. I felt like Sierra was better balanced. I do think it was kind of splitting hairs from the front, but from the back, I think is where Sierra won it. I've definitely seen after third place, some of the girls look really big or thick in the waist. I was afraid that the division was trending bigger this year. Yes, that's what I thought. Sierra was better balanced. Yeah, Sierra was better balanced for sure. And again, it was splitting hairs from the front. But when you turn them to the back, I just felt like Erin was a little bit too big through the glutes. I loved both of their looks. I loved both of their posing. I loved their overall look. One of the things that I've actually been pretty critical about with Sierra in the past has been her makeup and her hair and things like that. And she has done a very, very good job of upgrading all of that. She looked really, really pretty at this show. And that stuff matters. That's something actually with Erin too. Erin's hair at this show was way better than what she had in New York. I was really, really impressed with her look here at this show. Both of them. I was very impressed with their look. Erin's legs and arms were posed super narrow, making her look so much smaller everywhere but glutes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying with her back pose. And she probably did that because it was probably feedback that she's gotten in the past, Erin, that she needed to build her glutes up, make her glutes rounder, that kind of thing. So that's probably feedback she got. So she's probably posing to do that. But now I don't think she needs to do that anymore. Now I think she can actually pose a little bit wider from the back, and I think she'll be better, right? Sierra made massive improvements in the past year. She sure has. Yeah, her balance is great. She's also stopped tucking her hair behind both ears, so her hair just looked much more glam. Yeah, she upgraded her look overall. Sierra's look overall has been upgraded, basically. Same thing with Erin. Again, that was actually, and I know I didn't review New York, but that was one of the things that I would have critiqued Erin on from New York was her hair look. Her hair look here in Miami was way better. Way better. So much better. So I was really happy to see that. I don't know if she got feedback on that or not, but this was a lot better. A lot better with her. So yeah, I think that was the right call with Sierra in first. I would like to see Erin win just so she could qualify for the Olympia because Sierra has already been qualified. But when we're talking about who was the better competitor that day, I do think Sierra was the better competitor. Looking at third was Liana. She, in my opinion, needs some work on her upper glutes. She's one that if we could just take some glutes from Erin and put them onto her, she'd be good. She'd be good to go. Liana from the front, to me, looked a little bit blocky at this show. It's like almost like she was too straight on with her waistline or something. I just would like to see her waistline, her front pose twist a little bit more to bring her waistline in a little bit on that front pose. But where I saw that she needed to improve specifically at this show is her upper glutes. She just kind of slopes down and she is pretty muscular from the back. So when you don't have that pop of the glutes from the back, what we focus on then is the legs. So I don't know if that's just something where she's going to need to take a little bit of an off season in order to build those glutes up. Or if she's just got to fill them out more. But this is actually something that I think has been happening to her over the course of the last couple of shows because I saw the same thing in New York. So I think she's just kind of losing a little bit of volume in those glutes just from doing show after show. Maybe taking some time to help build those out would be beneficial for her. But I know she's competing again, so we'll get into that in a minute. Same, I always want Erin to succeed. Would love to see her be a 3-time Olympia champ. Even if it's not likely. Yeah, it's not likely, but still, hey, you never know. She's done some massive improvements in the last year, man. Looking at her transformation, she's done some massive improvements. It's really inspiring for me. She's actually older than me. She's a year older than me. And seeing the fact that she's been able to improve her physique as much as she has over the last year has been incredibly motivating for me. Anyway, back to Liana. So I think this was a good package for Liana, but I feel like she hit her best package in Pittsburgh. I do think, and again, she's competing this week. We'll get into that. I do think maybe she needs a few weeks off just to give her body a little bit of a rest. and that might help her pop her glutes back out a little bit. So we'll see. And fourth was Gabriella, who I know has been doing pretty well this season. I don't know her very well specifically, but she's got a really good shape. I feel like she's glute dominant. Again, she's another one that's similar to I would give her the same critiques that I gave as far as Erin. From the back, I think Gabriella is actually pretty well balanced from the back. It's more from the front. When I see that front pose, it's like all I can see is glutes. And this is something actually that I see with Issa Pacini too, with her particular front pose. So I just like to see her kind of downsize a little bit from the front. Actually, again, from the back, when I'm looking at her back pose, I'm okay with it from the back. I think from the back, she's fine. She's got some nice fullness there, some nice roundness, and she's not overpowering. It's just that front pose needs to tweak a little bit. Really pretty look. I think her tan needs to be darker. She looks a little light. But yeah, it's just that front pose needs to be tweaked a little bit. And then Shelby came back. This is her first show back in a while. I loved the pink suit. She was a red suit girl, which I love red too. But when she came out in the pink, I was like, ooh, I like that pink suit a lot. So she's another one. Needs to fill out her shoulders a little bit. I'd like to tweak her front pose a little. Let me see. Let me find a good front pose here. Yeah, I'd like to tweak her front pose just a little. I'd like to see her like twist her hip just a little bit more. I think if she twisted her hip just a little bit more, that would help her to fill that shoulder out a little bit from the side. She's a little straight on with her upper body. So if she was to twist her upper body just a little, I really think that would help to round her shoulder out. This is actually something that I talked to Jennifer Dory about back when she did the Arnold. Tyler had tweaked her pose and made her twist a little bit more to the side. As soon as Jennifer Dory twisted more to the side, her shoulder rounded out and it balanced her frame so much better. I think that Shelby needs to do the same thing. If she was to do that, I think that would really help with her upper body. 39-year-old woman, you and Erin motivate me. Oh, I love that. I love that. My coach Shelby. Yeah, I loved this. Again, I loved this pink suit on her. It's so funny because I actually just talked about a pink suit on my reels here and how pink is one of those colors that people sleep on. She pulled it off really, really well. And I like to see her a little bit fuller, a little bit more bubblier from the back with her glutes. She's just a little bit washed out through those hamstrings, but she just needs to fill it out a little. That could be just a food thing, just fill out a little. Maybe get a little bit tighter and then pop it a little bit more. But she's very, very close right there. She's very close. I just like to see that front pose tweak a little bit. If we could tweak that front pose, I think it'd be money. So anyways, okay. So that was 5th in Miami. Okay, so that was our shows from this past weekend. Now let's go into this coming weekend. There are 5 pro shows this coming weekend, you guys. 5 pro shows. So there's bikini in 2 of them. There's wellness in 2 of them. And there's figure in 1 of them. So there's 2 in California. There's NorCal and there's Southern California. Northern California is figure, and then Southern California is wellness. I was looking at the wellness roster. There's only 5 girls in the wellness roster for Southern California. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see who jumps out on that particular one. I'm going to be honest with you. Nobody that I'm looking at on that list is like, oh, she's going to win. So I didn't even put down a prediction for this one. We'll just see. I do like the fact that we're seeing some new names come out for wellness. That is a good thing. That means that we're going to start seeing some new looks, which I really want to see. I really want to see some new looks for wellness. So I do like that. And this is anybody's game. Right, Devin, it's a toss-up. This particular show is a toss-up. I mean, it's whoever decides to come in best that day, basically. So, again, I'm very happy that we're getting some new wellness pros out on the scene. That is a good thing. I just don't have a prediction for the show. I don't have a prediction. So we'll see what happens. I will definitely be looking at photos and things like that when this show's over with, because I want to see who actually wins it, and who's going to end up, going to the Olympia from this show. But we'll see. We'll see. So that that's our Southern California. That's that one. Let's go back to the pro lists here. Tatum or Amanda. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Let's go to NorCal next. Oh, there's actually another show too. There's oh shoot. Man, there's 6 pro shows. Oh my goodness. Okay. There's a lot of freaking pro shows this weekend, you guys. So the NorCal show is all figure. So who jumps out at me specifically on this particular show is Wendy Fortino. Wendy Fortino is going to be my pick. Who knows who else could jump out on this list? There's a lot of names on this list I don't know. So again, a lot of these shows I'm just going to be watching because I want to see who's going to jump out and who's going to be the next person coming into the Olympia, right? So we haven't had a ton of figure shows this year yet. So this will be a good one to watch for results and everything too. So here's another one. I don't really have a prediction for, but I'm going to say Wendy because that's the one that I know. And let's go to Clash of the Titans. If I'll click through, there we go. Clash of the Titans again is figure and wellness. And again, I don't know a lot of these names. I just don't know a lot of these names on figure. So is anybody's game there? Wellness, there's at least 10. There's 10 girls in the wellness division here. That is great. That is a good show. 10 girls is a good show in wellness, you guys. So maybe Daisha here. Hey, maybe even Kanea Yancey. Like she was third. Was she third or fourth in Tampa? I can't remember what she did. But we've got a couple of people here who could jump out and get some good buzz going here. And then there's a bunch of girls on this list that we don't know. So, I'm excited to see these shows and see the results of these shows because we've got a bunch of new pros that are actually competing. So when we do a wrap up of the shows from this coming weekend, it's going to be a good wrap up because we're going to be able to see, I'm going to be able to really dive in and get an idea of what some of these newer pros are going to be bringing to the stage. So that's what we got there. It's fun to see new pros come out. It's fun to see new names. I had somebody mention this in my question box on my stories today or yesterday. I can't remember, but they were saying, would we look at Liana in Bikini as rookie of the year? And yeah, she's doing very, very well. She's doing very well. She just took third in Miami, all that. But there is a lot of year left. There's a lot of year left, and there's a lot of new pros that are going to come out. And who knows who's going to come out and kind of surprise us, right? We've only had one pro qualifier here, like one major pro qualifier so far. And they're all coming like gangbusters within the next few weeks here. So we got Junior Nationals coming. We've got Universe coming. We've got all of these shows that are coming that are going to be bringing new pros onto the scene. We've got a bunch of new pros that are coming out. So this is the time of year where things start getting exciting. Right? So there's that. Let's go back again. Omaha, Omaha is women's physique. We're going to go to Mile High next, and then we'll go to DC Pro-Am. So Mile High, there we go, is Bikini. Daraja was definitely the rookie of the year during her pro debut, winning her first show and second. Yeah, and she didn't come on the scene until North Americans. So see, there's a lot of year left to go. So Mile High, we have a few big names here. Again, we were just talking about Liana. She's in this show again. Then we've got Ashley Kaltwasser in here too. We've got Issa Pacini. We've got Jimmy Marley, and we've got Corey Hagman. So those are the ones that I wrote down for this particular show. The reason why is because obviously Liana's been doing very well. So I have her in my third place position right now. And I put Corey Hagman and Jimmy Marley in here because last year at this show, they both did very well. We'll see. Jimmy Marley hasn't been on stage since the Olympia. And Corey has been doing halfway decent, I think, since she's gotten back on stage this year. I don't think she's gotten any first call outs, but she was very, very close to winning this show last year. So maybe one of those two will be in the top 5, but we'll see. But the real story here is that Issa Pacini and Ashley Kaltwasser are both in this show. Now, Ashley won this, and she's won it every year, I think, since she started competing again. But Issa always beats Ashley. So this is going to be a showdown here. It's going to be interesting to see how this particular show plays out. I like seeing these top Olympians coming in and trying to win some of these shows because it breaks things up a little bit, right? So what's going to happen here is whoever wins this, I don't think they're going to win it hands down. Like the last show, Toronto, Ashley walked in and won it hands down. I don't think that's going to happen here. Whether it's Issa or it's Ashley that wins it, I think it's going to be a split decision, which means that breaks it up and allows for somebody else to get in there and get a few of those first place points, right? So we could potentially see a dogfight for those top 3 spots. I think Jimmy is a wild card, but she tends to come in softer. I'm curious to see how she compares to Issa and Ashley, who tend to be shredded. Yeah, see, I've seen a few like Instagram photos of Jimmy, and she's really soft. But that's Instagram. So who knows what she's going to look like on stage. I never like to judge people from their Instagram posts because you just don't know what they're going to look like once they get on stage compared to other people, right? So if I was a betting woman, I would put Issa into first place and Ashley into second. That's what I would do. But we'll see. We'll see how that actually plays out. Laura Lee didn't beat Issa with a unanimous vote at the New York Pro. At least one judge had Issa in the first place spot. So I think Issa has an edge if she took judges' feedback seriously. I'm sure. Issa's always towards the top. She won Tampa. She's won the Olympia twice. She's never going to be outside of those top spots, just like Ashley is never going to be outside of those top spots. So it's just a matter of who actually comes in best that day. So this is not a open and shut case for anybody on the stage, right? But again, what this does do is this allows for somebody to get in there and get compared to these two girls and potentially grab some first place spots, some first place votes. And who knows, maybe overtake one of them. It's very possible. It's very possible. And I believe that both Ashley and Issa are also doing Patriots next week. I think they're both doing that show as well. So it'll be a matchup again. And who knows, it may flip-flop again. Who knows, So I like this because, again, it gives somebody who may not be very well known an opportunity to get in there, get compared to these top girls, and then get talked about. Just like what happened with Liana at Pittsburgh. She started getting talked about because she got into that top 4. She came from nowhere, and now all of a sudden she's actually being talked about and being talked about as like Rookie of the Year and stuff like this, right? So this is an opportunity for somebody. This is an opportunity. So there we go. That's my 2 cents on that. Now, last but not least, we're going to go to DC Pro-Am. Okay. DC Pro-Am. I will be there this weekend. There is a full live stream for DC Pro-Am with commentary because I am on it. So if you want to listen to me talk all day long, you can. I will be on for the whole day. There's men's physique pros starting in the morning and then women start in the afternoon. So I will be on the live stream all day. Plus I have clients. So it's going to be a very, very long day for me. So I will have lots of energy drinks and coffee. I already have some of my cuties like on call for coffee for me. So we're ready to go because I'm actually starting peak week too. So yay me. I'm so excited. Anyways, going back to DC Pro-Am. So DC Pro-Am, there's a lot of girls in here that are local girls because I know all of them, you know what I mean? So that's always fun. But, initially looking at the list, we're looking at Ali Fernandez. She won it last year. So she's coming in trying to defend her title. And then you got Sierra, who just won. She just won 2 shows. She won California and then she won Miami. So she would also be coming in. She placed top 4, top 5 last year. She was in the top call out. Can't remember what her placing was last year, but she was at the show last year. And then who else did I put down? And then Jody Yunker, who has been doing top fives across the board all year. So those are really your three people, right? You got some people in here who are ex-Olympians, like Liz Israel. She was an Olympian, one of my posing clients. Oh, and Gabriella. I forgot about Gabriella. So Gabriella also is in there. She's been placing top fives as well. Forgot about her. So she's another one. And then one that's been slowly moving up in the ranks has been Jessica Miller. She's been competing all year already, and she's been slowly creeping her way up. Who else? Oh, Leslie Billups placed top 5 at Optimum. And those are your people that have placed this year. Kaylee Hootie-Shell, she just competed last week. She didn't do well last week, but she was placing top 5s last year. So maybe she does a couple of tweaks and she ends up doing well here. But yeah, we'll see what happens at this particular show. This is a good opportunity again for somebody. If I was a betting woman, I would put Ellie or Sierra into the top spot. And just based on their looks, I think they're going to be very comparable. Now, they're very different physiques, but they tend to be pretty well balanced. They tend to have the same kind of fullness, tend to have the same kind of muscularity. So I'll be interested to see how they compare to each other. And then we'll see from there. I don't know. I'll put Ellie back into the winner's circle just because she is a defending champion here. They're both Olympia qualified. So either one of them, whichever way it decides to split, I think that they're going to be your top 2. Well, who knows? Somebody else could jump in here. Maybe Gabriella could jump in here. Who knows? Kaylee is so tall. I feel like some posing tweaks can make a huge difference for her. She just needs to fill out. I did pay attention to her from Miami. It's Miami she did, I think, right? I'm getting all the shows mixed up. But she just needs to fill out. Being a tall girl, you got to be full. Trust me, I know. You got to be full. So I would, again, I'm going to put Ellie in the first place position, but that's simply because she is defending champ. That's why. Otherwise, I think it's going to be very, very tight between her and Sierra. With the improvements that Sierra has made to her physique and her overall look, I can very easily see her winning this show. So we'll see. And that's it. We have a very busy week coming up, you guys. Very, very busy. So I will do my very best to be able to wrap up all these shows. I head to Dallas next week. We'll see what we can do. Maybe I'll do a live feed from Dallas or something. I don't know. Maybe we'll do something like that. But yeah, it's going to be a fun weekend. I'm not going to be able to follow most of these shows because I'm going to be on commentary all day on Saturday. So I'm not going to be able to follow the other ones. I'm just going to have to wait till pictures and things like that come out. But I'm super excited to be on commentary. I love doing that. It's a lot of fun. If you couldn't tell, I can sit here and I can talk about this stuff for hours. It's been an hour that I've been talking so far. So I can talk about this for hours. So it will be a lot of fun. We've got several people that will be on the live stream this weekend that are judges and things like that too. So you're going to get some good insight from people who actually judge these competitors. So it's going to be a good show. It's going to be a good show to watch for sure. I'll be at Dallas watching. Oh, awesome. Cool. Yay. Yeah, I'm excited about it. I haven't competed in Texas since 2015. I think it's 2015 is the last time I competed in Texas, I think. So I'm excited about going back. It's gonna be fun. And I have definitely improved since New York. So I'm also excited about that. I've seen a lot of changes in my physique the last couple of weeks. So I'm feeling really good. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted, but I got a smile on my face, and that's the best I can do right now. So, yeah, it's going to be a fun week. It's going to be a fun weekend. I'm excited to see my girls get on stage this weekend too. I have a lot of them, a lot of my posing, suit, hair and makeup clients, all that stuff getting on stage this weekend. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. With that, I want to leave it open for a minute if anybody has any questions or anything they wanted to add. This has been a long live feed. Sorry, it's been an hour. I knew it was going to be a long one because I haven't seen you guys in a bit. So I had a lot of things to talk about. So, and we have, like I said, this is the like the heat of the season, you guys. So this is when the rubber meets the road. This is when, I mean, obviously there's freaking 6 pro shows this weekend. There's 6 pro shows this coming weekend. 6. There's 3 bikini pro shows next weekend. Like there's Puerto Rico, there's Patriots, there's Dallas, there's, oh my God. It's just a back to back. I am doing makeup and commentary this weekend. Yes. Sure am. And my coach is going to be there too. So I'm doing check-ins with my coach too at a week out from my show. No big deal. No, but for real though, people say this all the time. Like, I don't know how you do all this and prep. This is my job, you guys. This is what I do for work. This is how I put food on my table. So just like you guys, when you're in prep, you got to go to work. So do I. I am lucky that I love my job and I love my profession and I love being in this industry and I love what I do. I am very lucky with all of that, but it's still, I mean, it's my job. So I got to do it. I got to show up. It's what it is. You know, of course I would love to sleep in and not do cardio. You know, of course I'd love to do that, but can't do it. Just gotta make it work. Just gotta make it work. You know, like I said on my stories, like it gets done. The only thing that changes when I'm in prep is my time management. My time management changes. That's it. That's why, you know, as much as I love coming on and doing these live feeds with you guys every night, something's got to give at some point, you know? So as much as I would love to do it 7 nights a week, I also got to think about my mental sanity. And I got to think about family too. You know, like I've told you guys, I'm no longer doing any work. I take that back. Monday mornings I get on and I do like email follow-ups and things like that. But once I get into Monday afternoon, I'm done. I don't do any more work because that's my family time. That's my time to be with my husband. You know, at some point you have to draw a line, and you know, I that's where I draw my lines. You know, I have to. And I know Monday's a weird day, but for me, my busiest days are Saturdays and Sundays, and well, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays are my busiest days because of show weekends. So, you know, I have to do what I have to do, and then Monday is my night. Monday is my day to go and enjoy my family, you know? So anyway, this weekend is going to be busy as fuck, but that's okay. All right. Well, if there's no other questions or anything anybody wants to add, this is going to be an exciting weekend coming up. We're going to see a lot of new Olympia qualified athletes across the board in a lot of these divisions. So it's going to be fun. And I'm excited. To see how it all goes. So I hope you guys have had a great week. I'm going to try to get on again tomorrow night, but I'm not going to promise anything because again, starting on Friday, we have a very busy weekend coming up and I got to get everything ready tomorrow. And I've got clients. So there's all of that too. So fun times. With that, I will definitely be in touch regardless through Instagram and all that kind of stuff too. Get the live stream for DC Pro-Am. And literally watch all day long because you're going to have commentary on all day long. So you can learn all day long. That's the cool thing about when we do live streams here, because we do talk about criteria, judging, what's happening. So you get an idea of what is actually being scored. You know, it's not just, okay, this person looks phenomenal. No, we talk about what's actually happening on stage. If you've never watched one of our live streams from this area, from the DC area, you need to. You'll learn a lot as a competitor. You will learn a lot as a competitor. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to let you guys go. And I'm going to end out YouTube first. Let me do that. Oh, and if you want to come work with me, suitsandposing.com is where you got to go. Because obviously we do hair, makeup, suits, and posing, all the fun stuff when it comes to competing for women. All right, that's it. I'm done. Have a great night, you guys. I'm going to end this out on YouTube first. How do I do that? Hold on. All right, there we go. All right, bye, guys.